Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to today's live session with Val from Eton College, Canada. We will talk about the resident permit application in Canada and also a little bit how to proceed to study permit, work permit, and then permanent residency, and also about the citizenship in Canada. Val will explain all of the process and steps to us so that all the students, those who are asking the questions about the resident permit, why they should proceed with Eton College, the diploma program, and also how about the process for the resident permit after getting admission in Eton College. And we will try to answer all of the questions. Recently, we are receiving a lot of questions from different students, those who wants to proceed with us, but they're not confident about the resident permit and the study and the permanent residency, how to proceed further after the education. So this live session is organized because of we feel that to answering the individual students is better to arrange a live session and invite well about this discussion, and it's better to get some right knowledge from the admission officer. So let's talk about the things, and first I will invite Val about this topic to discuss more about this and be tuned with us. So
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again, guys. Nice to see you, Alan. Thanks for inviting.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to start basically like maybe from the very, very beginning. And I would say a few words actually about Canada immigration policies. So in Canada, the immigration policy, it's pretty from from the step to step procedure. It's a very easy process, I would say. Of course, it takes a lot of time, but it's the easiest process compared to all the countries across the Europe, North America. So yeah, first of all, when the students they're applying for the program, of course, they need to apply for the study permit. How to be eligible for the study permit? First of all, it's the length of the program. So the average of diploma programs it takes like 1 year, right? So, and in order to be eligible for the postgraduate work permit, students have to study for as minimum 2 years in Canada or 16 months, which is equal to 2 years, in order to be eligible for the postgraduate work permit. So, and the same, and the work process we provided for the Eton College because we have the pathway programs to our public institution. So where students studying with Eton College, they're getting transferred to for the second year, they're getting transferred for the public institutions such as Capilano University, University of Canada West, with whom we have an agreement. And the students are, after the graduation of the public institution, they will be eligible for the postgraduate work permit for 3 years. But a little bit more about how to get the study permit as well. So once you apply for the program, let's say, for example, with Eton College for the travel tourism management, hospitality, or business administration, so the average duration of this program is 1 year. So and when you apply for the visa application, so you're including the letter of acceptance. So the first thing you have to include for your application, that's the letter of acceptance from the institution from who you're applying from. So and basically, in order to be eligible for the to get a letter of acceptance, you have to meet the admission requirements, such as with Eton College, it's IELTS, TOEFL 6.0, or if you don't have the English assessment test on you, we can provide the English assessment test to take it for us for free. So, and the students have up to three attempts. So it's the online test, which includes the multiple choice writing part. So, and yeah, in 30 to 45 minutes, you will be able to finish this test, and we can check the results right away. And then from that point, we can move to regarding the admission process. So once you get your letter of acceptance, most of the students asking me what's the requirements, what's the immigration officer is looking for. The most important students have to understand, if you are following the procedures and if you're following rules, the chance of your visa approval will be higher. One of these components is the proof of funds. So for the immigration officer, it is really important to consider that the student has a really close tie with his home country, that the main reason to come to Canada is not the immigration purposes, it's the studying purposes to get a degree. So, and the proof of funds is the right proof to show that the student have enough funds for example, for the length of the program. So for 1 year, has enough funds to cover his life expenses, accommodation, transportation, food, groceries, and etc. And my suggestion is will be for the international students is to have as minimum as $10,000 on their bank account on the moment when they apply for a visa. So, so this proof of funds could be not just from one account, for example, from the applicant, but this is could be the multiple accounts included. Multiple banking statements could be provided to the for your visa application from your parents, for example, as the sponsors for applying for the visa. So, and these funds must be on your bank account for the moment while you're receiving the approval for the visa. So, once your application is approved, you get your visa. So, then I would say the money doesn't have to stay on the account all the time. So, it is the most important to keep them while you're applying for the visa to show the immigration officer in case that they would like to check that information. Yeah. So as I already mentioned, so the letter of acceptance, the PAN, the proof of funds from you or your sponsors to prove that you will have enough money to live while you're here. Because as an international student, you of course you're allowed to work up to 20 hours a week. So and this is this is the minimum. So which sorry, the maximum what students can do. So and moving forward, so once you get your visa, so and you studied your program, uh, after finishing the program, let's say for example you finished 1 year with Eton College and you finished 1 year with one of the public institutions we have the pathway with. So, and then you're applying for the work permit. So this is the most easiest process when you apply for the work permit, because first thing you apply within the country. So the refusal rate it will be like close to 0.01%. There are the exceptions from getting the work permit after graduation process. I think it's the people with maybe with a criminal record or something like that, which did something really bad here while they're paying in Canada. But if you've been doing really well, you've done your degree, you paid the taxes, there wasn't the problems with the government, the taxes related. So then the chance to get the open work permit after the graduation, it's 99.9%. So
Yeah.
obviously it's 100%. Yeah. So and as I already mentioned, in order to be eligible for 3 years of postgraduate work permit, students have to study for 3 years, or for 2 years, or 16 months. So that's why we provide this owning specific program, diploma programs in hospitality industry, travel tourism, flight attendant preparation, business administration, IT industry as well. So yeah, and regarding the permanent residency. So while you have the 3 years of work permit, it means that you during this time you have to accumulate the minimum amount of working years experience. So it depends on the field, because for each field there is a different requirements which applies for if you work in a if you're working in the business industry or you work in a hospitality industry, there might be the different requirements according to position you occupy with. So, but yeah, the minimum is supposed to be like as a 1 year of work experience on the managerial position, or it could be not the managerial position as well. Once again, it depends, and the information you regarding your position you occupy and how to apply for the permanent residency, all this information is open and it's on the government. On the Government of Canada website, you can check by the number of your occupied field. So, yeah, of course, it's also important to include your English test. So, what you will need to take the English test again. So, which is obviously will be really easy to do. So, and then there is a few ways to apply for the permanent residency, either like for the express entry, because for each country there is a different requirements. So Depends where you come from. There might be somewhere requirements could be easier, some requirements could be a little bit tougher. So it's also all that information is provided on the Government of Canada website when you would like to apply for PR, and you can see the requirements regarding the permanent residency. So yeah, and then after applying for the permanent residency, it may take different amount of time. For someone, it may take about a few months to get a permanent residency. For some people, it may take up to a few years. So you can never expect when you will get an answer. So and for each person individually, it takes time. So, but yeah, after getting the permanent residency, so it's obviously mean that you already have a certain like citizenship in Canada. You just can't vote. There is a few more restrictions, and then to apply for the citizenship, it takes another few years before you can apply for the citizenship. But this is like long story short. I explain like from the applying from study permit to citizenship. So it includes some other things as well. So which yeah we can always discuss. But for general understanding of the situation, how the immigration process is working, I just wanted to say that this is very straightforward and simple. If you made a decision about you want to stay in Canada, you want to come in Canada for immigration, for example, immigration purposes is one of the purposes you're coming with. So you have to follow the procedure and you have to follow the rules. You can't just come to Canada for immigration purposes from foreign country for and pretending that you might get your open work permit, for example. The chance to get refused is like close to 100%. So that's why it's really important to apply to come to Canada through the study programs, through the colleges, through the institutions. So that proves that you will be you will be competitive as well to other people on the market. So and without the degree, it might be really tough to first of all is get a job here, so pay your expenses, and of course from the legal perspective, it will be really difficult. So yeah, for all the people who is interested to come to Canada, I definitely suggest to do that from the very legal perspective to come through the studying programs. So yeah.
Yeah, we have received some questions, and also when we're discussing with the students, those who are interested with the programs, they have some questions. So I have listed down the questions. Can I ask you that? Well,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. First of all, some students willing to have the degree on the co-op, that is like cooperation
Hmm.
course. One course I think we have in Eton College, and
Hmm.
some people are like interested for that course, but their question is, can after completing that course, can they immediately going for the work permit or not?
So yeah, at Eton College, it's a private institution, as I mentioned. So students who are finishing just Eton College, they're not eligible for the postgraduate work permit. There is exceptions, and this exceptions is, as I said at the beginning, it depends on the country where you came from. For example, as I know, South Korean students who is coming to study, and they may finish both either private or public institution, they will be eligible for the postgraduate work permit. So there is such exceptions for the countries. Is so that's why it's very varied. So there might be some students who may come to us. They can finish any of this one program, and they can apply for the postgraduate work permit. But for the most of the countries, it's really important if they want to stay in Canada, and this is really important for them to study for 2 years, and that's why we provide these pathway options, pathway programs to the public institutions, and we have 4 agreements with the institutions here, with the same programs where students study with Eton College. So it's just all about, first of all, from the saving perspective, the average cost of public institution costs $20,000 a year for any of the programs which would we have with Eton College. Average program cost with Eton College is $10,000. So students getting the same postgraduate work permit, students getting the same experience. But the most important is that they are saving up to $10,000. And for international students from most of the countries, this is a really that's I would say that's a really big money, which you can spend for the entire year for your life expenses, for example.
Yeah.
So and also with the reason why to come to Eton College to us, because we are a career focused college. We are focusing on providing the practicum for the students. We have 100% rate for placing the students for the practicum. So, and we have over 20 partnerships with is it like a hotel industry, is Loden Hotel, Hyatt Regency, Fairmont Hotel, Holiday Inn, and others, plus the airline companies, because we have the flight attendant preparation program. So I'm focusing on providing the practicum, but the most important is to understand that our partners, they're not looking for the person who wants to finish the practicum and will leave after. They want someone who will stay with them for a longer period of time. If they will be interested in that, so that's why if you're getting the if you're getting the practicum, it's 100% that you are staying there after the practicum. Yeah.
Okay. Second question is that there is one, as you mentioned, that we have one course, flight attendant, but it's a 10-month course. So when we present to the student, then they say that 10-month course is not eligible for the resident permit for 1 year. Is it like how we proceed about this if this is flight attendant course?
Yeah, so the flight attendant preparation program, it's a short-term course, which is 3.5 months. So, but moving forward a little bit, so also we have two other programs, which is travel tourism flight attendant preparation and hospitality management flight attendant preparation. So the students are able to choose either one short-term program of 3.5 months, or they could choose the combined program. So they getting the diploma in hospitality management and flight attendant preparation. But this program is for 13 months. So, and for those students who just interested in flight attendant preparation, they may come to Canada just on a visitor visa because this program is less than 6 months.
Yeah.
It takes 3.5 months, as I said.
Yeah.
But if during this like circumstances the students they change their mind and they want to stay in Canada, so they can change their status. So they can apply for the study permit within Canada while they are in Canada on the visitor visa.
Okay. Yeah. Then I
Yeah.
know. Okay. When the student will go to the connecting pathway college from the college to the university, what is the process like? Is there any admission test, or how about the tuition fee for the courses? Like, is it the same tuition fee that they provide for the suppose Royal Rose University or Capilano University? How about the tuition fee, and how about they will admit in the course? Is it automatically or
Yeah,
how?
so we start to prepare students for the pathway once they started the program at Eton College. So once they already arrived to Canada, they're starting their program here. We are preparing them. We get preparing the welcome letter, the admission requirements. They are obviously the same with us, what we have at Eton College. So, and we making sure that the spot and everything will be reserved for the student by the time when he just arrived to Canada and he started the program with us. So on the next year, he definitely has a spot in one of these institutions. And regarding the tuition, as I mentioned, that each public institution is twice the average price is twice bigger than the public in the private institution. So that's why the same program at Capilano for 2 years, it's going to be one year is $20,000. So in total, it's going to be $40,000. 1 year with Eton College and 1 year with Capilano. Any other institution is going to be $30,000 in total, or maybe less. So yeah, so
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. The people from like hotel and hospitality management, we saw that there are like 3 months of practical courses. Is this the meantime of the study, like the theory class, or is it like after all the theory class, then they will have like 3 months only, and then they will go for the internship or practical, or is it mix?
so we have the policy and rule that the students are replacing for the practicum by the time when they finish the program. So, but we also have an exceptions for some students who were seeking for a job. So they literally were coming to us and saying, "I need a part-time job. So can you please help me with that?" And this is the students who just started their program. And we, as an institution, we are not allowed to say them, "No, guys, you can't work. You have to study 24/7." No, we're trying to help them to get this part-time job with our partners for the practicums. So, and we have these cases where the students are started where they working with our partners, already having the part-time contract uh, while they studying. And by the time when they finish the program, they can count these hours when they finish with their with one of these places for the
Yeah.
practicum.
Yeah.
It just counts towards the practicum, which means that they could save some time, like as minimum as 2 to 3 months
Yeah.
for the practicum. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Um, some students ask the question that how about the resident permit like acceptance ratio in Eton College? Like if students apply for from Eton College to the resident permit application, is there any like all of the positive decision or there are some rejection as well? This is only
Uh,
to know about the yeah, to know about the ratio for the resident permit decision from Canada government, because when people start with us for the Eton College for some programs, they are worried about that they are having bachelor or master's program, and they are now going for a diploma program in Eton College. So they are worried about that if their visa will be rejected or not. So I want to know how about the ratio for the visa in Eton College.
yes. So, if answering the question regarding uh, how IRCC, how immigration officers is looking
Yeah,
for the application when you're applying for the public or private institution. So the IRCC doesn't look on the rate of the institution when you're applying for the program,
okay.
because all of the our programs, they are the same, and they all posted on PTIB. So where you can check the credentials references for each of the program with the subject included.
Mhm.
So that's why the institution, the IRCC officers, they're not looking for the rates of the institution when they're applying for the program. The most important, as I mentioned, it's the length of the program and the plan, what the student is planning to do after. So,
Mm.
and they're going for the pathway programs is one of the proofs how to show the immigration officer that the student is going toward like the second year of the program. So, and this is also will be if the students are getting 1 year of visa. So this 1 year will be extended within Canada here when they will be here, and when they by the time when they finish the program, they will extend their study permit in order to go for the second year in the public institution.
Yeah.
But if asking about the residency, when you're applying for the permanent residency, they're not looking for the institution where I finished here, because you already because this all the institutions they are accredited, right? So we have the
Yeah.
credentials. So and
Yeah.
when you if you already finished, if you're already in Canada, you already finished the program and you already have the work experience when you apply for the residency. The most important is just to look for the requirements such as work experience, your English test, how much you get, and then you calculate your points. I'm not exactly sure what's the total amount of the points was a couple of months ago in order to apply for permanent residency, but as I believe it might be about 485 points, 490 points. So this is like the average amount of points to be eligible for the applying for the permanent residency.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and yeah, as I already mentioned, also, uh, every country it really works differently. So
Yeah.
it might be completely different situation for applying for the permanent residency for someone from India, for someone from South Korea, from
Yeah.
someone from France or
Yeah.
Russia or any other country. It might be completely different situation. So that's why it's really important to look on the requirements for this. And once you already once you're already in Canada, the best way to apply for the permanent residency is to do that with a lawyer. So if you because if you will do that on your own, you're taking 100% risk on your for yourself. In case if any documents or anything you will fill out not properly, this is automatic refusal. So
Yeah.
which means that you lost the time, you lost your money,
Yeah.
and probably the status of being in Canada. So that's why it's really important to apply for the permanent residency with a lawyer here, with immigration consultancy.
Yeah.
So and I don't want to lie about the price right now, but I think it might be between from like $2,000 to $5,000, depends on the cases. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Some people, some students, they have like a bachelor in not in the business administration or some other, like they're engineer, but they want to switch their career. Now they want to go to the tourism or maybe the programming. We have some programming course, like I think two we have in Eton College. Two courses
Uh,
is based on programming, I think.
yes, it's web developer and analyst
Yes.
programmer diploma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And if they want to do that, are they eligible for that course?
Absolutely, yeah. Under the admission requirements, we have it's high school diploma, high school transcript, and the government ID. So if students they finish the post-secondary institution, yes, we would like to see your credentials that you finished that. So, but under the requirements, it doesn't list under the requirements. It's going to be an additional document which you can apply put for your toward the admission process. So, but the most important is high school diploma, high school transcript, government ID, and English test.
Yeah,
So, and as I already mentioned that the English test, if you don't have one, we can provide one for free. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, very nice. If I need to summarize the process that you mentioned here,
Mhm.
first step is to contact with us and then send all the documents with the application form, and then he will get the offer letter from Eton College, and then with the offer letter there will be all the details about the tuition fee. Then he will send the 50% of the tuition fee to get the letter of acceptance. And after the getting letter of acceptance, he will apply for the resident permit. The resident permit can be applied by himself or by us also, or by it is not that much big deal like a permanent residency. So study permit is easy, I should say, but also sensitive if there are some important issues, is getting gap or they don't fill it up. So it's better to do by someone else, but he can do it him or herself as well. But one thing I missed, is there any insurance that is needed for the resident permit,
Insurance. Sorry, what do you mean by that?
like health insurance? In
Um,
Sweden or in Europe, it's very much needed. So
I think yes, I think so. I think so.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
part of the part of the permanent residency when you're applying for that. So and also most of the residents in Canada, they have the insurance MSP. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I will come back with the information later on.
Mhm.
And then they will apply for the resident permit. They will get 1 year resident permit, depends on the course they are admitted to. And then when they will get the resident permit, they can start the courses, the program in Canada, in Vancouver, in Eton College. After completing 1 year course, they don't need to give an admission test, but they will be automatically connected to the pathway courses to
To
the
the
university.
to the private institution. Yes, we start
Yes,
to prepare the making the application and preparing the welcome letter
yes,
for the public institution once they started the program at Eton. Yes.
yes. And then when they will start the pathway program in Capilano University or Royals Road or any other university, they will
Mhm.
they will have a tuition fee like the tuition fee that they give for 1 year in college, kind of similar tuition fee they have to give to the university as well. And then after completing the university degree, they can apply for 3 years of postgraduate work permit. And after that, and this time, like 3 years work permit, if they get the work, suppose after 1 year, when
Mhm.
they completed the degree in Eton College, someone
Mhm.
gets the job. Can they apply for the work permit by
Of
themselves?
course, yeah. So you don't have to wait up to 3 years to apply for the permanent residency. If you found a job right from you get your open work permit and you will completed the 1 year,
Mhm.
you completed the requirements for this particular field you occupy. I mean the position. So then, yeah, you're absolutely welcome to apply for the permanent residency right after, or like on the
First
second
year.
year
Yeah.
of your postgraduate work permit. Yeah, and
Okay.
also for those students. Just to clarify, if you're applying like on the third year of your postgraduate work permit for the permanent residency, so it will be needed to extend your work permit, open work permit, while you applied for the permanent residency. Because, as I said, this process may take uh,
Long
like
time.
different, like long time, up to a year, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why the students also will will need to extend their work permit status. But everything doing like applying and extending the documents within Canada, that's such an easy process, I would say, like in terms of time. So it's like you would say like twice more time than applying from Canada on the
Okay,
same time.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
I think we are pretty clear about the process now, and students, those who were trying to connect us and have lots of questions, this live
Mhm.
session will be easy for them to understand what's the process is. I think I got all the question answer from you. Thank you. Well, I think
Yes,
this
absolutely.
live session, this live session will be very helpful for the students, those who are like seeking help from us. So
Mhm.
I would like to thank you for the live session that you joined for us.
Thank you as well, Alan. Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for inviting. Yes, if your students will be willing and would like to see me again,
yeah,
please let me know. We will
yeah,
schedule another session, and I will answer all their questions.
yeah.
Okay.
Of course, no problem. Thank you very much, Val, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Alan. You as well. Have a good night.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yes. So today's live session, we try to cover all the information from Val, and I think I'm pretty clear about everything. I hope you are also. But the thing is that sometimes in the live session we talk about many information. Maybe you are not. If you are not clear about that, you can just write us on service@norwegians.se, or you can send the message in WhatsApp. It's +467377477748, and then you can have our communication officer to talk with you about the demand and what about your what about which courses you are interested to, and we can share about the courses, the tuition fee, and all of the processes that we need to follow from the admission to the resident permit application. So till then, take care, and we will meet again in another live session in near future. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.